Alright, in today's video, I'm going to be breaking down exactly everything you need to know from A to Z when it comes to your macros for fat loss. If you're watching this, you probably have a little bit of stubborn body fat that you want to drop. Maybe your shirts are fitting a little bit tighter and you're not trying to buy new clothes, new pants, whatever it is. By the way, guys, you might see my assistant here. She's trying to get my attention. She thinks the world revolves around her, so go ahead and just ignore her. Part one of this video series is all about the foundation. So understanding what are macros, and then how you can start making your own adjustments in order to create your own results. So if that's something that you feel like you need, go ahead and smash that like button, subscribe, follow wherever you're watching. That way you don't miss out on any future videos. Alright, let's jump right into it. Step number one is you need to know exactly where you are. And I don't mean the number on the scale. What I mean is you need to know exactly where you're at when it comes to your nutrition. I can't tell you how many times I have people come to me telling me they want to lose a bunch of body fat, they want to look more toned, and when I go and ask them like, okay, what are your calories, what do your macros look like? It's like a deer in the headlights look. This is the equivalent of coming to a financial advisor and telling them, hey, I want to buy a Ferrari, and when they ask you how much money are you bringing into the door and how much is going out on a month-to-month basis, and you have no idea. If you want to lose fat effectively and as fast as possible, you need to know where you are when it comes to your nutrition. Now, you can follow some cookie cutter plans. You've probably seen them, egg whites, rice, broccoli, and you're probably gonna lose some weight with those meal plans. There's nothing wrong with them. But if you actually want this to be a sustainable process, you wanna learn how to do it forever and not feel miserable throughout the whole process, then you need to learn how to track macros. It's just a tool, but it is a very powerful one. Biggest mistake I see everybody make is they will jump right into a calorie deficit without even knowing where they're starting. So step number one is track your current intake. Don't switch up your diet, try to start eating cleaner, like keep it real. Don't change your eating habits just because now you're thinking, shoot, I need to drop 15 pounds in 15 days. Keep your nutrition just as it is, whether that's 1 meal a day, 3 meals a day, 9 drinks on the weekend, whatever that looks like, keep it real as fuck. Don't try to change it. Because this is gonna give you the most clear data that you need in order to actually drive permanent results. So track what you're eating, and yes, that includes the weekends. Now, the best part about all of this is by the end of your dieting phase, you're not gonna have to be eating ice cubes. Yo, can you sit? Thank you. You're not gonna have to be eating ice cubes for lunch and dinner in order to induce fat loss. You also won't feel exhausted, foggy brained, low sex drive, and getting your sleep interrupted because you're so hungry. Which means you're still gonna have energy to crush your workouts, recover properly, and bang your wife or your husband if your energy levels are that. But ultimately what this is going to do is help you maintain as much muscle mass as possible so that when you drop all the fat, you have a nice, firm, sculpted physique, more of a toned look versus looking like a string cheese or a melted candle. By the end of this, the idea is we want to look like Captain America and not like Steve Rogers. Now, I know tracking can feel pretty overwhelming, and maybe you're already hitting the gym pretty consistently, you're trying to clean up your diet, and on top of that, you're handling a bunch of other things: work stress, family stress, all the holidays coming up, you got trips planned, you got weddings, you got vacations. Here's the deal: take it one step at a time. If you're trying to change your eating habits, your drinking habits, your sleeping habits, that's gonna lead to a lot of burnout when you're trying to change all of these things all at once. What this can look like is week 1, maybe you just track 5 meals. Week 2, you start tracking 8 meals. Week 3, 11 meals, and so on and so forth until you start getting more comfortable with tracking. Give yourself that routine and that cadence so you can start building momentum on it. Typically, when my clients are struggling with tracking, I'll just have them track breakfast only. That way they're not feeling overwhelmed, feeling like they need to track every single meal. So maybe go ahead and implement that if you feel like you struggle tracking. Because then before you know it, it just becomes second nature. I'll tell you a little personal story. For about 5 years, I was working out and eating healthy. I never tracked my macros before this. And during those 5 years, I literally made 0 progress. And that was super frustrating. I never hit any PRs. I didn't look any more muscular. I didn't lose any fat. And that sucks. It's very hard to continue doing something when you're not really seeing any results. Now, I'll give you a huge warning. Don't get too comfortable. At some point, you're probably gonna feel like you got it all figured out, like you're eating very similar things. You'll see the temptation to stop tracking. Big mistake. Think about it like if you're slamming a bunch of drinks, you and the homies are slamming tequila shots and you're not feeling the drunk, so you skip the water. During the moment, you're having a freaking blast, but you already know the next morning is probably gonna suck. With tracking macros, it's pretty much the same. It's kind of that balance that keeps you in check, even when things look like they're under control. So if you stop tracking too soon, you're gonna feel it down the road. Having a good coach can definitely compress that timeline, make it a lot faster, a lot easier for you. Focus on taking it one step at a time. That's it, guys. Very simple. First, you need to know where you are, understand how much you're eating, how many calories are you consuming on a day-to-day basis, which means the volume of food doesn't matter because you can eat very little amounts of food and they can be very calorie dense. You want to avoid all of that. All right, next video, we're going to go over the types of food that are going to be better for your fat loss. So if you haven't already, go ahead and give this video a like and subscribe for more if you found this video helpful, because that helps us out immensely. But otherwise, I'll catch you on the next video. Peace out, everybody.